Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is Vikram, and it's not a Sunday. For a change, we are making a video on a weekday because I'm bored. Usually go out in the nights, not very often, but sometimes, and I just go out on a drive. So I thought, why shouldn't we capture that? Because, it's a hobby, man. It's a good hobby. And coming to hobbies, I picked up a new hobby these days. I started wrapping things. If you want to see that, follow me on Instagram. This is my Instagram ID. And I actually wrapped the exhaust cover of my bike in this gloss carbon fiber, wrap. I just tried it. It's not very good, but it's okay. It's actually good for, a first time thing. This is how it turned out to be. And, that is very interesting, man. Usually, when we look at these rapping videos in YouTube or shorts or, Instagram reels, that's so satisfying. So I thought, why shouldn't we try that? For now, let's go out. So this is the only issue with diesel cars. The moment we started, they sound like tractors. Once this thing stabilizes at 1000 RPM, that is where it idles, it is very refined. It is as refined as a petrol car. These days diesel cars are not very NVH compromised. So that is a new Nexon. That car looks beautiful, man. In terms of looks, Nexon is beautiful. The new one. Nexon is always beautiful, but the present gen Nexon is even better. Tata cars look amazing, right? In terms of looks, Tata always nails it. Though the Nexon looks beautiful, I am very happy with the 300 because of this. As you can see, this thing is absolutely mind-numbing in terms of performance. I know in terms of numbers, all these cars are very identical, but I don't know why this car feels different. This car feels very different. Before getting this, I've test rode almost 6 to 7 cars, including petrol and diesel. I love this. Of course, the first thing I love about this car is it's a diesel manual. So whenever you want sudden surge of power, you can do this. See, that is how, fantastic the performance is. And even this car has got some amazing features like the steering mode selector or, multiple steering modes. In comfort, it's very, light, but in sports mode, the steering becomes heavy and very sharp as well. They managed to do that very, professionally, very precisely. But performance is something else, man. Performance is something else. I'm not someone who's against automatic transmission because in some situations even I prefer automatic over manual. But whenever you want to drive a car in the night time, when there's no traffic and on a plain highway like this, manual is way better than automatic because there's that feel, man. When you have a diesel manual, the feel is something else. I know a lot of you people might be petrol heads, but nothing can match the feel of a diesel car. See, this is why I love to come out at nights. It's not too late, it's just 10 o'clock in the night, but the road is empty and we can do this. Until 1900 RPM, the car is very sedate. But once it crosses the 2000 RPM mark, this thing literally pushes you back into the seat. That is because of the turbo spools at around 1950 to 2000 RPM, I guess. That is where the absolute charm of this engine lies. And even the braking. This car has 4-wheel disc brakes and see, we ran out of gas. I need to fill the car up. Before that, one last full throttle. Whoa, this thing is amazing, man. See, I'm in 5th gear. I haven't even shifted it down, even though whenever I throttle the car, the torque is fantastic. That is the main, USP of diesel cars. The torque is amazing. They've got some phenomenal torque. The main USP of these diesel cars is the torque, man. The moment you get hard onto the throttle, that torque rush, that torque pushes you back into the seat. 300 Newton meters. 300 Newton meters is very addictive, man. I've driven cars which produce close to 800 Newton meters. For example, the Panamera Turbo S, it produces more than 800 Newton meters, but that car is completely made for a different purpose. This is for a different purpose. For whatever purpose this car is built, it serves it perfectly well. And in city, in Indian driving conditions, 300 Newton meters is more than enough, man. One negative aspect of the 300 is the gearbox is not as tractable as the cars of this segment, because you gotta work on gears often in traffic. We are actually used to driving our cars in 2nd gear, even in stop-go traffic, but that thing won't work in this car. That is because the car is stall geared. Gearbox is, gear ratios are very high, and the gearing is stall. That is why the car, it stalls in, whenever you try to drive it in 2nd gear in traffic. Even after driving it for over 4.5, almost 5,000 kilometers, even now I stall the car in traffic. That is one negative aspect of the car. But once you get onto the highway, this thing flies. This thing feels very different. This thing feels very different compared to that car. That is actually the Nexon EV? No, it's not an EV. It's a normal Nexon. It's a diesel Nexon. Nexon as well is a fantastic car, man. I don't know why I'm talking about Nexon in this vlog so much. Nexon is actually a very potential option before getting this car. Venue is definitely ruled out, because the rear seat space of Venue is very less compared to both these cars. So driving feel of the 300 is much better than the Nexon, is what I felt while getting the 300. Whatever, we need to be happy with whatever we have, right? So I am happy with the 300. I will definitely do a dedicated review of the car. Whenever we get onto the throttle and the turbo spools in, this thing absolutely flies. I know I'm a bit excited because, usually I drive the car in traffic conditions. That's because, in morning time traffic is very irritating. That's why we often don't get a chance to throttle the car. No matter which car you have, you gotta drive it very slowly in the traffic, right? So I would love to take the car out in the night, putting the car in 6th gear and cruise at 80, 90. The feel is different, man. So guys, that is it for today's video. If you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video real soon. Until then, this is Vikram signing off.